Welcome to the story behind the hymn with Faye Weaver. This is Season 2, Episode 5.
As the Deer is a well-known praise and worship hymn song. It was written in 1984 by Martin J. Nystrom, a native of Seattle. This song was inspired by Psalm 42:1. As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. It was written at a time when Marty felt so down. You see, in 1984, he traveled to Dallas, Texas, because it was his summer vacation. Marty spent time at the Christ for the Nations Institute. He went, in part, because he was interested in a girl. However, it didn't work out according to his plans. With this, he was left heartbroken and regretful. His roommate, who was a very enthusiastic Christian, advised him to do fasting and to only consume water. The goal of his fast was to reach back to God. Marty took the challenge without hesitation. On the 19th day of fasting, he found himself sitting beside the piano, writing a song. He was playing a chord over and over, trying to create a melody. Then, Marty noticed a Bible on the music stand. The Bible was half opened, and the first thing he saw was Psalm 42. His eyes stuck to the verse, "As the deer panteth for the water, so my soul longs after thee, O God." After reading, he found himself singing the messages. Then he wrote the first verse and the chorus of the song. Since the introduction of the song, it has been translated and recorded by various artists. Also, it has been sung in churches all over the world. Enjoy Hallie Kirk as she shares this song.
You are listening to the story behind the hymn with Faye Weaver. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these brief messages.
Night Off the Streets provides a place for homeless to sleep out of the cold. We need your help. I had no intention of volunteering. Then I did, because it needed to be done. The miracle is that I have been more blessed than they. Won't you share a little of your time to give someone a warm place to go overnight?
And I had to go get back into my cabin. I'd been gone. I'd been out over to Albany, New York, trading and getting supplies. I was heading back to my cabin, and I came up the draw and eased up over the edge by the rock face, and Sniffer stiffened. I could feel him bunch up, and I knew it was trouble. He was staring into the woods across the flat from behind my cabin, and out of the trees came the Indian with 6 of his warriors. And I looked up and I seen Black Wolf. He was my friend. Owl was with him. Man, what a reunion. I hadn't seen him in over a year. Well, really, that was just a story. I made that up. That's in my book. This one here is the cabin under Flatiron Point. In 1953, I made a ride with my cousin's horse up in the mountains. I found a cabin. I wondered whose it was, what it was. It had almost destroyed. It was almost down to the ground because the wood had rotted. This is the Pony Express. I've been president of the Pony Express, ridden since 2011. What a fun time. We're going to talk about how we publish these books. We're going to talk about, do you have a story? Do you want to tell it? What we'll do is we'll talk about these 2 books. We'll talk about publishing, and we'll talk about your adventures, and hope to see you here at the Family Life Center at First Presbyterian Church on Musser on the 13th of November at 10 o'clock. And hope to see you there. Enjoy, and I'd love to tell you some more stories.
Welcome back to the story behind the hymn with Faye Wheeler.
Clara H. Scott, her lifespan 1841 to 1897, provides us with a hymn of consecration that has been sung for over 100 years titled, Open My Eyes. Psalm 119:18 is part of a biblical prayer meditating on God's goodness and law. This verse says, Open my eyes that I may see wondrous things from your law. These words inspired Clara Scott to compose both the lyrics and the music to this song in 1895. Clara's story is both inspirational and tragic. She became the first music teacher of an all-girls school in Iowa. In 1861, she married Henry Clay Scott and began writing songs. In 1892, she published the Royal Anthem book, which holds the distinction of being the first volume of anthems ever published by a woman. In 1895, Open My Eyes was published and became her best-known hymn. Clara was born in Illinois. She was a lifelong Midwesterner. Her life came to a tragic end in 1897 when she was visiting the Mississippi River town of Dubuque, Iowa. She climbed into a horse-drawn carriage. Something spooked the horse, sending it careening down the street at breakneck speed. Clara was thrown from the runaway buggy and killed. She was only 55. The chorus of this song expresses Clara's great hope in God. Silently now I wait for thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine. Enjoy Helly Kirk as she shares this prayer, Open my eyes.
Thank you for listening to the story behind the hymn with Faye Weaver. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button. Subscribe and ring the bell if you would like notification when this channel has new content. This program is a production of Aunt Betty's Studio, a ministry of First Presbyterian Church, Carson City.